Often when we look at people we admire, we often look at them and think that they have some kind of superhuman confidence not accessible to us and that they were born with it. But here is the truth that few people talks about. You already have a lot of confidence. You are just not conscious aware of it yet. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to detect the confidence that you already have and how to combine it with the one that you want to gain to move the needle to develop your online dreams and start to make progress and traction. And in my teachings, I often talk about the 3 type of pillars of confidence, or actually 4, but we are going to cover the 3 pillars of confidence that will help you acknowledge the confidence that you already have and start to harness that and work with that, and how to become a confidence gainer by default. And before we jump into the presentation, I just want to cover the 3 pillars of confidence that I talk about. And the first pillar is the confidence that you overlook, your so-called unconscious confidence. And to understand and see that you actually already have confidence is the foundation and will help you to start to build confidence in the other areas that you don't feel that you master completely as for today. And for this episode, I will actually show a little presentation, which is perfect for my visual learners. But if you're just tuning into this episode, this will benefit you as well because it helps me to organize this presentation. So let's dive in. First of all, I want to cover the emotions that you feel whenever you feel the lack of confidence. It's when you feel the race of your rhythm speed up in your body, you feel nervous and anxious. And what that really is a sign that growth is about to happen. If you only push through the barrier of fear or nervousness that you currently are feeling. Because here's the thing. Your mind, your brain is equipped with this function, a very, very important function, and that is to scan everything around you. Anything that could be a threat to your physical survival. And that is a good thing. But this default of your mind cannot differentiate if it really is danger to your survival or just whatever that feels unfamiliar. And its default setting is that everything that is unfamiliar outside your current comfort zone could be potential threat. And therefore, we get these waves of fear and imposter syndrome. When you learn that it is a function, you can also easier step in as the commander of these warning signals. And instead of listening to them blindly, you can challenge it by asking the right questions. Okay, I want to follow my dream and start making YouTube videos. Or I want to create my first online product. And the fear that I feel now, speaking in front of a group of people or speaking about my product, is that a threat to my physical survival? And I know this may sound so silly, but it works. Because that's the thing with the simple thing, and what we often call as cliches, is often where magic and true systems are hidden. So the fear and the nervousness that you feel is often, if it's not, by applying the first question, okay, could I die from speaking in front of people? If the answer is no, I could not, then it's just a limiting fear stating that something is unfamiliar. And what that is instead is a sign of your expansion. If you take your if you take your first step and just, dip your toes in this new unfamiliar zone, there is where growth lies. And I also encourage you to start to embrace the sign of fear, not to let it dictate what you will do or not do, but to embrace it as a sign that you are not failing, you are growing and you are expanding your new creative version, the creative version of yourself that has the endless possibilities to gain new talents, abilities, and confidence in new areas. Because here's the truth, that whenever you do something new, your mind will scan it as a threat. And if we are not aware that it only is a function, not a signal that states any truth, chances are that we will be too discouraged. Because we are emotional beings, and it doesn't matter if you know on a deeper level that I will not die speaking in front of a camera or publishing my first YouTube video, but the emotion is there. And it feels so strong that it can't stop us. That's why it is so important with the inner work, the AKA mindset work, to adapt new data and new programs on default that will support your journey. Because the real problem with listening to fear, especially when it comes to your dreams, is that it runs on autopilot thoughts, data installed in your subconscious mind. And if you are unfamiliar with stretching your comfort zone, because that is also a skill that you can adapt. You can adapt this version of you that recognize unfamiliar places, unfamiliar destinations as something exciting. Maybe you will feel a little bit nervous, but you will know what that feeling is, and that will help you and support you. And the second thing that is the problem with listening to fear is that it not only sends mixed signals to you, you have this alarm screaming at you that, no, don't do this. And that strong emotion will also contaminate, if you will, your thoughts. So when you feel nervous and you say to yourself, I suck on camera, I cannot learn this, it also trains your brain and it makes this program even stronger. Because your brain, what you feed your brain with, the thoughts you feed your brain with, like I suck on camera, I am useless, I cannot do this, I'm terrible at whatever. What you feed your brain with, your mind will register as important. This is important. So you make those programs even stronger. The programs of you sucking, you will make those programs even stronger. And that will in turn make this false alarm even stronger and stronger and stronger. And I mean, the goal with whatever endeavor you have in this life journey leads up to one thing: a feeling. If you want 1 million subscribers on your YouTube channel, or make your first 1 million sales on your digital project, what that actually is an image of is a feeling of feeling sense of purpose or freedom or accomplishment or whatever. It is only the current it's only the current image of what you actually want, the feeling. And this is my firm belief. And I'm not saying that I'm always applying this belief. I deviated from it from time to time when I let, limiting ideas, old habitual thought patterns take the best of me. If I don't work consciously with what thoughts I want to think, sometimes I drift away from this path. But this is my firm belief. And the real goal in whatever goal you have is joy, meaning, and purpose. So even if a statement like feel the fear and do it anyway is pointing us and can direct us to where we want to go, it can still feel very discouraging, because since the goal itself cannot bring us happiness, it's about enjoying every step of the way there. Because what you will discover, and I bet you have already, the goals that you have had in the past and have accomplished, they probably doesn't give you that much meaning today if you don't consciously actually think about it. If you don't consciously pick it up and bring it to the present, like writing a gratitude journal for all the things that you have accomplished, all the goals that brought you some kind of sensation in the past. But we don't often do that. And I mean, joy can look different. It can be excitement, passion, serenity, a sense of belonging, and it has different shapes. That's my point. But I just created some examples here, and one element of living with joy is creating from a place of alignment and purpose. That is what I now very bold would like to state, that no matter what your online dream is, your content creator dreams are, even if leaving your 9-to-5 is a part of it, even if having more time freedom, money freedom, whatever, I think that underneath that, if you look closer, you will see that there is so much more depth to it. You want to contribute to this world with something that feels meaningful. And I want you to know this. We are so conditioned, I think, that contributing or giving or providing value is mixed and confused with it has to be hard. But here is another truth that I firmly believe in, is that when things come naturally to us, that is a sign that we are connected, tapped into, the infinite, the divine, our spirit, whatever we want to call it. And then we provide from a place of value beyond the intellectual mind. So here's a little reminder. If something feels very easy to you, it is not a sign that it's not valuable. It's actually opposite. What is natural to you is so valuable to other people who needs your spirit flow, explanation or teaching or inspiration or whatever. And living with joy is also finding meaning or living with a sense of meaning. And that can also be, all from the big things. I want to contribute to the world and make this world a better place, but maybe, and also just being a good neighbor, a good friend. And I don't think we can be those so-called best version of ourselves when it doesn't align. If you think about it, when you have had a really bad, shitty day and you go to the grocery store or whatever, meet your neighbor, do you feel like you are giving the most compassion and being the most present that you could be, compared to when you come from a place of joy and excitement and fulfillment? I do consider, at least for myself, when I feel like a better person, when I feel that I am not consumed by this intellectual time, this psychological illusion of time and the stress, I am more present with my kids, with my family, with my friends, and I can give tips from a place very much aligned with my heart, with my love. And joy, meaning, and purpose can also carry the image of continuous growth. By expanding your capabilities, your talents that you haven't harnessed already, but you have them. If you want it enough, if you feel it enough, they are already yours. But for you to experiencing them and give through them, we need to grow into them, or rather grow those talents. And since work is the block in most of us calendars, is what consumes the most time we spend in doing whatever, I really think that we should find paths to make them feel purpose-driven. And that goes both to what you currently are doing, but really important to combine them with where you actually want to go, with where you actually want to be doing from whatever destination that is for you. So, but now I want to talk about the confidence, all the confidence that you already have, because confidence is just a word, and word in itself doesn't contain any truth in itself. It only points us to different perspectives, different feelings we have around whatever. And I use the word confidence because I think it gives us a bigger picture in how all the things intertwine and interact, and how we can work with large parts in our lives all at the same time. And the confidence that you already have is basically all the data already installed in your subconscious. Because that is another function of the brain. To save energy, it wants to create programs. Think about all the habits that you have. You don't think whenever you get up and get out of bed, like, how should I dress myself? Which, should I start with the socks or whatever? You just do it on autopilot. And that is the same with what we call confidence. All the things that you already do naturally. Boil eggs, drive a car, speak to your colleagues about whatever systems you know a lot about. That is one type of confidence. And the reason why I think it's so important to recognize that is that it will support us in knowing that we can. That is like a proof that, of course, I can gain confidence in whatever new area because I have already done it. And what I like to do and like to recommend, and this can feel very silly in the beginning, but is to take a piece of pen and paper and just write down all the things that come so naturally to you, so you don't consider it as confidence. Skills that you have, and go all the way back to when you learn how to walk. You do that every day, or speak to your friends, or talk about a topic that you have learned a lot about at work, but your friends have no idea, but you are super confident because you work with it daily. And that leads me up to the next part of the practice, and that is to kind of grab like some analogies, some metaphors, some affirmation reminders, things that you have accomplished in the past, but before you did, really struggle with. Mine is when I got my driver's license. I remember sitting with my dad in the car, and I felt so overwhelmed, and I felt like, okay, my body cannot take this direction. How to, use the pedals and the gears to, And I was so, my firm belief, I really felt it so strong, was I will never, ever learn this. I knew that to be true. And a couple of years later, maybe 1 or 2 years later, I got the driver's license, and I've been driving the car daily since then, many years later. And having a history with different corporate jobs, I have been a flight attendant, I have worked in a grocery store, I have worked, in a lot of places, in SEO bureau, very exciting industry. But anyway, and I know with all those different jobs, as a newbie, with all these new maybe industry to learn, when I became a flight attendant, I knew nothing about the security codes, and it felt so overwhelming. And whenever I felt this sense of, I will never learn this, it's impossible, I'm too stupid, or this is not for me, I had my driver's license reminder and to remind me, like, but I have been here before in this exactly same sensation, knowing that this is impossible, but I master it. And now it's something that I take for granted. And that reminds me, whenever I feel overwhelmed, whenever I feel this wall hitting me like, you cannot do this, I know that I have the proof in the past to show me otherwise, to show me other way. So that is the purpose of the practice. So find some kind of challenge, some kind of big dream or goal that you have had in the past. Maybe it was to lose your overweight. Maybe you have been overweight your entire life and you have tried to lose weight for many years, and finally you actually did it and you got a sustainable weight. Whatever your thing is, and let that be the reminder that you can gain new data, you can gain new skills, abilities, aka confidence. And that leads me up to not feeling the fear and do it anyway, even if it's true to that. We want, as stated earlier, let me move up here, that the real goal is joy, meaning, and purpose. And feeling this strong emotion of fear can knock anyone out. And that is not a joyful way to proceed in life. And that's why I like to teach this. Combine the confidence that you already stated that you have with the 1% stretch goal. Okay, so I like to give this example because I know that there are many new creators out there that want to start a YouTube channel but feel completely overwhelmed, think that they don't have anything to offer, don't have any value, and all of those bullshit ideas. And I don't want you to feel discouraged for me saying that, because the ideas is the function of our mind trying to keep us safe, and we all have that function. But there is ways to find another way to push through any of those fear limitation. And feeling the fear and doing it anyway, that is something that I think can be useful later on this path, when you have started to adopt a completely new mindset, a new perspective when it comes to how you view yourself and your actual ability, knowing that this is a piece of cake, I will learn this. Then that little reminder can be a useful affirmation. I don't know. But in the beginning, we want to enjoy every step of the way. And enjoying the step also comes in with different images. It can be feeling proud for recording that first video, even if you sound very, very nervous, or even if you looked like this when you were speaking or reading from the script. You did it, and that can be exciting. But to combine the confidence that you already have, meaning the things that come naturally to you, things that you take for granted. And when it comes to creation, we often have this kind of topic or theme or niche that we want to talk about or create content about. What is yours? Do you want to start a YouTube channel, for the sake of the example, to teach about how you can develop a morning routine that supports you every day, year in and year out? I don't know, but something that you feel comfortable about, and the topic is often a sign of that. You don't have to be, could be something that you're really passionate and curious about. Obviously, that is also a sign that you have the right fuel for gaining that confidence, because you want to learn this so much and it's so exciting. And since we are talking about YouTube, this is a little trick that you can do, and that is to do the passion check. If you can come up with 10 to 12, 12 is my magic number, but if you can come up with 10 video ideas about your topic, about your theme, that is a sign that, yeah, I could talk about this from different angles for, how many episodes or whatever. That is a sign that you are emotional connected with that. And just to mention here, if you thinking about starting a YouTube video and want to do the passion check, but you have trouble coming up with angles or titles, I have created this little fill in the blank template with 100 of title ideas, fill in the blank, where you can add whatever niche topic you want to talk about, you want to create content about. And you can check it out in the description box below if that is something that you are interested in. Let's move on. So once you have discovered or stated, okay, this is my current confidence, maybe that's the topic. Your confidence in talking about keto because you had such a great weight loss journey, you used to struggle a lot in the past, but now you feel like, yeah, and you are super excited talking about that. Okay, there you have your confidence check. And now you, of course, want to enjoy the journey while stretching. And then we have this 1% formula. And that is, okay, here's the thing. I do believe that volume is important for growth. And I do believe that if we're doing something enough, we will most likely gain more abilities around that unconsciously. So for example, filming yourself, if you do that enough, the fear and unfamiliarity will reduce and you will get better. That's my firm belief. But there's also this saying that if you're doing, the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and never, reflect on it or consciously decide, okay, but how can I improve this? How do I want to improve this? That is where the 1% formula come in. So you combine the confidence with what you already have with the direction you want to stretch right now. And maybe that is making better titles for your YouTube videos so that you give your content the right attention, grabbing the attention for the audience that will actually benefit from your keto regime or whatever your thing is. Or it could be that you want to make better scripts. Maybe that will be your zone of unfamiliarity where you can actually grow. You have no idea how to write a script, but you do some research and you try to apply different systems, different angles. So I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, because I make a lot of content about confidence for new creators. So I will try to cover all the things that I know and that I teach. But let me know if you have any questions, if you want more depths in, or if something, didn't make sense. But because I want it to make sense to you, because I want this to be valuable to you. So now we have combined the confidence that we already have with the 1% stretch, and that will help us to stretch in a way and grow confidence in new areas in a way that feels meaningful, joyful, and you're good to go. And obviously there are systems that you can apply to this, and I will make more content explaining that to you in another series or other video. But this wouldn't be an LCS, Limitless Creator Spirit, video or episode if I didn't mention the inner work. The inner work, sometimes called mindset work, whatever name we give it, people may dismiss it and think it's woohoo. I feel that cannot be further from the truth, because that is where all magic happens. If we go through life and accomplish great things, always striving for the next goal, but don't know how to think about it, feel about it, how to use that to fuel us further, and how to actually enjoy the process, for me, it's nothing worth. Take my driver's license, for example. For so long, I took that for granted once I learned how to drive the car. But now I use that as the proof and the joyful reminder that I can learn anything. So mindset work is so important, because if you, as mentioned, achieve all the goals that you want in life but don't know how to enjoy them once you're there, while going there, I think that the happiness will be very short-lived, because once you reach the destination, you want to move on to the next one, and that is a natural part of being human currently. And when it comes to confidence and mindset work, it all really boils down to finding different ways to view the growth processes as something certain, knowing that, okay, I suck at this now, but that is only a sign that I'm growing. I will master this. And then you have all the proof that we already have, picked up on, but you will start to create a bank of these kind of proofs, showing you that this is always possible. It has always been possible. And I know how to take the next step by combining what I already master with what I want to master with the 1% stretch. Another auto suggestion that you can repeat daily is, I am a work in progress. I really love that statement, because I think we all are work in progress, and our dreams is always a work in progress, because our dreams evolves. our dreams takes the shape of new images. This whole channel is a work in progress. So shift the default thoughts like I suck to I suck, and that really is a sign that I am about to master this. This is a sign that I can develop in any direction I want to go. And it is fun. So important to have fun. I recently listened to a YouTuber talking about time management and how to build systems. And he said something that really spoke to me, because I think that I've done this a lot in the past, added this to whatever goal that I set for myself. I add this little and love the journey there and love every day or something. But he said, whatever goal you state, you claim it, you state it, and then you add, and enjoying every step of the way. And I think that is so powerful, and that is such a great reminder. Whenever you do something regarding your creator dream and you freeze and you get these old paradigms, this old conditioned mind trying to put up, all the defensive walls for you to not go outside, use the power of directing your thoughts. Use the power of directing your mind consciously. Because here is the thing. People who states that mindset work is woohoo or whatever, your mind, your unconscious mind will be programmed. Whether if you program it consciously or let it run on autopilot. The news that you watch. Okay, I don't watch news, but many people do. The things that is going on or wrong in your environment. And here's another thing. If you already have a build program in how to perceive things in your everyday life, like I hate mornings, I hate this and that, I suck at this. If you don't consciously change those thoughts, these data will start to build on itself. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So without the mindset work, you will still have thoughts on default that dictates what you perceive, how you perceive it, how you feel. But if you do it consciously, you can adopt and implement programs that makes you feel good on a daily, regular basis. So what do you choose? Doing the mindset work, or let your unconscious mind do it for you and install all the data? It's all the data that is already there. And here in my little presentation, which was actually made for how to start on YouTube, even if you feel completely afraid and nervous speaking or creating in front of a camera. So we will just move the final part. And if you are interested, just let me say this, if you are interested in how to build confidence to start creating content on camera, let me know in the content. Let me know in the comments, because I would love to do that for you. But now, your path forward is to recognize that fear is not your enemy nor friend. It's just a function. And by consciously work with that function, you will be the commander in when and not to obey the fear. The fear is very useful if your real life actually is at stake, which is most often are not. And the next step is to identify the confidence that you already have, combine it with your 1% stretch formula, the confidence you want to gain. And as always, my recommendation is always to make this happen by small progress daily. And I've actually have this system, this method that I call 15 minutes to success or 15 minutes to purpose, which shows you exactly that. How to, by only applying 15 minutes, block 15 minutes in your calendar daily, start to make space for your dream, for your content creator journey, and make a life where every day on default is no longer a question of, will I do this? It is a question, what will I do today for my dreams and for myself? Subscribe to the channel if that sounds good, if that sounds like something that interests you, because I will make more content about my 15 minutes to success method. And I really hope to see you in the next video.